I'm Colt Hamilton. I've been here at Hamilton Dave Outpost for 27 plus years managing livestock. Got a lot of practical experience there, but barely graduated high school.
I'm Cleo. I graduated from the University of Missouri with a degree in animal science and an emphasis in ruminant nutrition. And I'm here at Hamilton Native Outpost learning how to manage grasslands for the purpose of raising livestock. So Colt and I are walking around out here talking about the different grasses in this pasture. The short stuff here is crabgrass and lespedeza, and this taller stuff behind us is broomsedge. I have some of it here. But the broomsedge, I know the cattle won't eat it after it seeds because the seeds will lacerate the inside of their mouths, and they don't really prefer it anyways, but will they eat it before it puts out seeds?
So as far as the broomsedge is concerned, it's a very palatable grass early on in the year. So it's a warm season native. It'll green up probably, it actually maintains a little bit of green through winter, but it really starts to actively grow in April. So April and May, they'll eat it pretty readily. Once it starts to elongate, go to seed, they quit to preferring it. He builds up a bitter taste inside of it, and they'll selectively graze around it. So a lot of the local farmers, there's a lot of misunderstandings about broomsedge. So in the fall, it turns really bright orange, and it's very visible in their field. And a lot of farmers think it actually just pops up out of the ground in September and turns orange. That's not really how it works. It greens up in April and May, and the cattle will have grazed it all year long. But it is a little bit more determined than like big blue stem and switchgrass and those to make seed every year. So at some point, it starts to build up the plant secondary compound inside of itself. The cattle start to push back on not grazing it, and then it starts to elongate and make seed, and then they start to see it in their field.
And what is that compound, or do you know what it's doing that they don't like?
I do not know, and I don't know just specifically what it is. There's some old dairy farmers that used to manage really well, moving their livestock every day, and they'll tell you that as long as you don't go more than 2 weeks or 14 days between grazing on broomsedge, you can keep it vegetative for most of the growing warm season. So then it doesn't start to go to seed till like October. But they'll tell you too that if you miss it by just a day or two and you put the cows in there and the cows are unhappy and they ain't wanting to eat it, hay it or mow it, and you can start that cycle over again. But once it gets to a certain point, the cows will refuse to eat it.
It gets to seed, and I don't know if you're still haying that late, but if it gets to seed, then and you try to bale it, will they eat it?
Not very well. They will eat it better than they would in the pasture unbaled, but mainly that's just because with a cow you can pretty well make them eat anything if that's all they have. But it's definitely low quality hay.